welcome. How you guys feeling? You guys ready?
I'm feeling ready. I've been waiting.
I think
for
me and
this all day.
Justin are ready. You're the one who was.
Dude, I've been thinking about this all day.
Well, I mean, it's because you're excited. This is how I was when I first started streaming.
When you-
I actually got everything. I was like, well, I'm ready to like hop into it. I mean, I wasn't nervous per se, but I was more like, I was like ready to go.
Okay, I guess the reason why I'm so nervous is because I've been thinking about this for literal years. Essentially, well, I guess also like we have had many of conversations, many of nights, long talks about various subjects from video games and movies, Marvel, MCU, stuff like that, and we've always had the adage of like, we should just record ourselves. And I think this is kind of that. Plus Justin, who is, the real talent of this show.
I wouldn't really call me the real talent.
First
but
episode.
I'm gonna say that.
Yeah, I wouldn't really call you that either.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
I'm just kidding.
I'll appreciate it. I mean,
First of all, we gotta shout out the fam, specifically our confirmed number one listener before we even publish it. Thank you, Gaga. We love you.
Sandra P.
Sandra P, we love you so much. We had a guaranteed sub before this even started, so we're on our way. First one's in the bag. That's the hardest one, guys, right?
yeah.
Hey, Big Gary too. If any of our equipment fails,
Well, I mean, I don't know if he knows how to work it like microphone.
we can just go buy it
equipment.
from Big Blue though. Get a good discount.
Nah, we don't got this kind
I
of
don't do
stuff.
that
But
technology at
they
Big
don't
Blue,
have
like-
this stuff like this.
Big Blue's pretty nice.
It is a nice hardware store, though.
It
I
is
will say
actually.
that. Yeah.
All right.
I just wanted to shout someone out on Justin's side. You know?
I feel that. I feel like it's good. That's pretty even.
Yeah.
So shout out to Gary. So in
valid.
case more people than just our grandmother watch this podcast, we probably should explain who we are. So we're brothers. Nick and I are brothers.
Yeah.
And
Not
then-
by blood, but
No.
we'll probably get into that a little bit later.
Yeah, we'll probably dive into that a little bit later. But we're brothers, not biological. And would you guys like to explain? how
Oh,
you
we're
guys
just
did?
friends. I've known.
we're
known each
recording
other
this
for years.
in me and Justin's apartment. We'll get into it later how we became such good friends, but kind of met in elementary school and it just stuck.
Yeah.
So
All right. Sounds
Couldn't have
good.
said it
and
better
shout
myself.
out Michael Wooten. He's like our other good best friend. We're kind of like a trio. So even though we have an apartment, we don't want to leave him out.
Yeah.
Right now we're in Greenville, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
I'm recently graduated, but you guys are still in undergrad,
Yep.
both at East Carolina University. Shout out Pirates.
Go Pirates. Woo.
Justin.
Purple.
I'm not doing that, bro.
Come on, man.
Shout
Come
out
on.
Pirates, though. Woo. Arg.
But Justin, can you give us a rundown of what your degree is in, your major, and as well your career aspirations?
Okay, well, I'm starting it off. I'm an undergrad at East Carolina, as he said, but I'm a criminal justice major. I'm minoring in forensics as well, so I have to take a lot of chem classes and stuff like that. My aspirations in life is to be like a forensic scientist, somebody that works in the lab, processes like criminal evidence and trying to find out and understand and solve like crimes, not necessarily in our area, but anywhere like wherever I would be stationed at when I'm working as a forensic scientist. But yeah. And I would, since I stream, obviously, as we talked about multiple times, I would like to be a big streamer if I could. If that ever like popped up, that would be like my number one goal in life, to be as like a streamer influencer. I like making people laugh and stuff like that. So that would be like a good thing to do if I ever got big enough to do something like that.
Yeah, it's definitely I think the best motivation is definitely intrinsic motivation to do something, of course.
Yeah.
But also like just like I think that's kind of what this is designed to do as well, is like just kind of
It's just fun.
just fun.
Yeah.
you know?
Like if you want to do something, dude, just do it. That's how, I mean.
I feel like there's
do
a lot of pressure nowadays to like do something like, yeah, I mean, of course you want to have a good life, be financially secure and stuff like that, but like I feel like I don't know if this is like a COVID thing, maybe, because I feel like a lot of people, I mean, we've started a podcast now, but like during COVID, like everybody started like social media businesses and stuff like that, and it just like took off. And I don't know about you guys, but I definitely feel like there's like even more of a like push to like, what are you doing? Like, what are you into? What's the metrics? Like real Succession kind of stuff. I've never watched that show, but
Because like people lost their security in COVID. You know, a lot of people lost their jobs. So I feel like everybody wants to have like a safety net now, even if it's not something crazy.
I also know like a lot of people that started streaming or YouTube or like some kind of small business from COVID. And I don't know like whether it was people got, laid off or that we were home remote working and then we got so much like, free time I mean, not exactly free time, but, you still be working, but, you exit off the computer, you're already home, you don't waste time.
Well, you just
traveling.
have more free time in general because if you're working from home, take like our dad, for example, having to commute to Raleigh an hour and like 15 every day. That's an extra 2.5 hours of his day. World of Warcraft.
Man, him and that
grinding them
Warcraft,
levels.
That's crazy.
Nicholas, what's your major in here at the East Carolina University?
Well, at the East Carolina University, go Pirates.
Bruh.
I'm a nursing major. I actually just got into nursing school. I don't know, a couple weeks ago. So I started my semester. Haven't had any tests or quizzes yet. I have some quizzes coming up this week. 2 big tests next week. Hopefully we hit those out of the park. I've been studying like a maniac. So today is probably the only day I've actually chilled for once. Still studied, but I chilled most of the day. So that was kind of...
Yeah, from what I have seen, from your freshman year to this is now your sophomore year for both of you.
Yeah.
Correct? Like your schedule is like completely flipped, which is to be expected with like nursing school.
Yeah.
But
We used to have all the free time in the world, and now Monday through Friday, I'm pretty much. Well, I have my Wednesdays off, but that's like a study day for me. So it's pretty much 8 to 4 all day.
study / get the pod in.
Get the pod in.
Get the pod.
Yeah.
Even though this is Monday, we're recording this MLK Day.
But anyway, the career I want to do, I don't know. I kind of bouncing around. Like, I wanted to be a nurse anesthetist for a while. Still kind of do. They make pretty good money, and I'm interested in it. I feel like it's cool. Just depends on what I like. I was doing an English class this past semester and decided to write all my papers about a flight nurse. That seems like would be fun and be intense. And they actually don't go on as many flights as you would think. Like from doing research, they're at the place all day just doing paperwork, prepping their gear, blah, blah, blah. But the downside is if it's 3 a.m, you could get called to go on a flight.
Do you know how many like flights a day they
typically average? Honestly, they said on the websites I was looking at, typically none. It's like it just depends on your area, I guess. Or it could be like 3 in one day and you're getting killed on just back-to-back-to-back flights, So that makes good money too. And that'd be fun. Yeah. But I don't know, it just depends on what I like. That's a good thing about nursing is there's a whole bunch of like jobs within a job.
So, are you still interested in going nurse practitioner?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm kind of, I don't know. I'm just like letting it ride.
Living life.
Just letting it ride.
Yeah, I feel you. I think it's great. I mean, you're already in a great
worst case
program.
scenario, if I just want to be a straight up BSN, that's still a great career choice.
Great career choice.
So
absolutely need more. Need more of them.
Not a lot of males either. So
not a lot of males.
From what I was talking with Miss Lewis.
Shout out Miss Lewis.
Me and Brandon's high school health teacher.
She's a nice lady from what I've seen. I've talked to her a couple times.
Met her?
Yeah, I met her when we were moving some stuff from Spring Creek. We had to go to her room and help her out. She was a nice lady, nice person. Shout out Miss Lewis. Woo!
Woohoo! I'm sorry, that got me.
No.
I was on the phone with her the other day, just helping her out because her daughter's doing some college stuff, and I was just telling her about, how my nursing's going week 1, and she was like, the good thing is since there's not a lot of guys, from her experience, she said the guys got pampered and like babied, and so that's a good thing for, you're gonna be like a teacher's pet because there's only like 15 of us. I think whenever she was in our school, she said there was only like 5.
Well, I think I went to the University of North Carolina at Pembroke. Diamond in the rough, for everybody that doesn't know. As in, unsung.
Go Braves.
Go Braves. Unsung treasure of North Carolina. Chancellor Cummings doing a great job at that university. And I didn't have this because our classes are smaller. I think the ratio is like, for student to teachers or teacher to student ratio is like 10 to 1 or something like that, 15 to 1, somewhere in that range. So the advantage is like, you have a pretty good opportunity to know your professors and see them again regularly, like throughout your entire academic career. I know you guys, you guys were talking about like a class of like 200, 300 people or something for like gen ed.
Surprisingly, that's one of the good things about ECU's like nursing program is those ladies like make it a goal to know you. So like, I don't want this to be the like scenario, but they like make it required if you don't do good on a test, you meet with them personally, go over what you can do, plan step, and there's like 125 of us in the program, but like we see those ladies every day. Like some people teach us in lecture, and then they're also our lab instructor, and then they might even be our clinical instructor. So you might see the same person 3 times a week. So it's really easy to build a relationship with them.
That's good. And that's what I was going into is like having that ability to not only be, because you only have like what, 36 or 40 people in your class as nursing school or what?
The labs. Well, the labs are kind of small. It just depends. Like it could be anywhere from like 15 to 20. But the lectures, we're all together.
How many people?
All 125.
125.
And this in a little well, no, I wouldn't say little auditorium, but we're gonna get all of them professors every semester too. Like we'll get a couple new ones that teach second and third, but a lot of them we'll see again in fourth. So,
but only like what, 10 dudes or more? 20,
10 or 15.
10 or 15.
I haven't counted. I know it's in that range.
Yeah, like I said, you have a nice opportunity to like.
I'm the only guy in my lab and my clinical, so they've already made
out.
They already like made a joke. They were going over dress code, and they were like, "I don't think anyone." I had like an older lady in my lab. And it wasn't my actual professor. She was just like subbing in because a lady couldn't make it, and she was going over dress code with us on the first day. She was like, "I don't think any of y'all have a beard." Oh, except my guy in the back over there. I'll use you. Could you stand up, please? She was like, "Ladies, I don't think you'll have to worry about this, but beard should be trimmed like his." And I was like, "Stop."
Good introduction. I'm Brandon. We've yet to introduce all 3 of us. Just so you know, I'm Brandon. I'm the residential old soul. I recently am a graduate of the University of North Carolina at Pembroke. Go Braves. And I'm trying to go to medical school currently. And I got to take the MCAT. Coming up in about a week and 5 days. So good icebreaker. I think it's a great way for people to know who we are. My good friend has a great icebreaker for, dates, whatever. And it is would you rather only be able to watch 10 movies for the rest of your life or only be able to listen to 20 songs for the rest of your life? Now, I think this is I know what I would pick, but I think it's a very difficult question. Justin, what you got?
Can I hear the question one more? You said 10 movies and 20 songs?
So you can either listen to only 20 songs for the rest of your life and watch any number of movies, or you only can watch 10 movies for the rest of your life, but you unlimited music. You can listen to whatever and whoever. So it's either.
I thought you lost the other one.
No. You get unlimited of the other.
Oh,
so this is what do you love more? Do you love movies more, or do you love music more?
I'd probably, me personally, I'm gonna pick the 10 movies and however much music I can listen to, because I'm not gonna lie, I really cannot tell you the last time I watched a movie. It was probably.
I know the answer.
Realistically, like.
I'm pretty sure I know the answer.
It might have been like Black Panther 2. What is it?
Spider-Man. Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh, yeah. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse was my last movie I actually watched.
Unless you watch something at home with your family.
Nah.
It was probably the last movie Netflix in the room or ever? Or like anywhere?
Nope. I don't watch movies.
I'm going to go ahead and second his decision.
What do you guys be watching?
I watch
nothing.
I watch a lot of anime. I watch a lot of YouTube. I watch YouTube like.
So would So we're picking only 10 movies.
So you can pick. So like you're picking only 10 movies to watch, and then you
Yeah.
have unlimited music.
Does that? Can I watch unlimited TV shows?
Yes, you can
Oh,
watch.
then
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not even close.
yeah, TV's not involved.
It's not even close.
Like
then.
TV shows not involved.
'Cause
100%.
I'm gonna say I listen to a lot of music. I listen to music when I drive. Listen to music when I play video games. I listen to music when I'm doing homework. There's just like music's like one of the most versatile like pieces
100%.
of art like ever made. How you can
100%.
do it while doing basically anything.
Without a doubt.
And so yeah, that's why I'm gonna choose that.
The only like bad part I would say is if like there's a TV show, because some TV shows have movies that like segue into them. So like I know like a lot of our animes that we watch have movies,
Yeah.
so that would kind of suck. But it wouldn't. I still don't think it's close.
All right. See, I'm the opposite. So I'm definitely like I would rather have unlimited movies and only listen to 20 songs, mainly because I can quantify what my favorite songs are. I have tried many times to quantify or just to list out my favorite movies, and it is so hard. And so like hands down, I would listen to only 20 songs because I could name my favorite song. But like to really sit down and be like, what's your favorite movie? I'm like, that's tough, dude. Like that is ridiculously hard for me to do.
That's fair.
So you guys would rather have only 10 movies, unlimited music.
Yeah.
What would be your top 3 movies then?
Top 3.
Yeah.
Let's go top 5. I feel like we
Okay,
can
top
speak
5
about
movies, go.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I can go ahead and go. I don't really watch movies like that, and I probably couldn't even name like 50 movies I've watched. So like, it'll be mainly like the Marvel movies. It'd probably be like, not in any particular order. I'd probably say I don't know if I could include the Dark Knight without like including the trilogy. I'd probably have to include the entire trilogy, but
No, you
like,
wouldn't.
So you're going like
I'm not going the entire trilogy. I'll just go Dark Knight.
just
The Dark Knight. The most recent Batman movie with Robert Pattinson. I really enjoyed that movie.
That's a tough
that
one.
movie's
That's valid.
really good.
That's a good
That's
movie.
valid.
I've recently just rewatched that movie like not too long, like maybe a couple months ago, and like I feel like I've liked the movie a lot more based on the rewatch than I watched the original time.
Michael
when going
quotes
into
that
it.
movie all the time.
Yeah, it's a really
especially
You
on his
quote that
YouTube
movie all the
channel.
time.
Huh?
You quote that movie all the time. To me, specifically.
No, I'll just like I'll just say it around the house too, but then I'm just sitting there watching Michael's YouTube video and he's playing a horror game, and out of nowhere he just like gets real close to Mike. He's like, "In the element," and I'm like, "Okay."
But hot take,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not including any of the Spider-Man movies.
Wow.
Not even
'cause, like,
across.
Spider-Man, would you say Spider-Man is your favorite superhero?
I wouldn't even say Spider-Man is my favorite superhero.
Oh, I thought it
That's
was.
that's our next topic. We gotta.
Spider-Man might not even be like one of my top 3 favorite superheroes in the MCU.
Wow. So like why would
Whoa.
you not
Whoa,
include
okay,
the
we're-
Spider-Man movies?
We're circling back to that.
Yeah.
But I'd
Put it
probably
on
go.
pause.
I'd probably go The Dark Knight,
That's fair.
the newest Robert Pattinson movie
Yeah.
with Batman.
Are you a Batman fan?
I really do like Batman.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, Batman's cool. But I'd probably have to say I'll add in Across the Spider-Verse. I really do like that movie.
Yeah.
I do think that's the best Spider-Man movie currently
100%.
released.
Solid.
And I feel like, and whenever the third one comes out, it'll
They'll blow that one out of the water. I feel
It'll-
like.
well, not necessarily. They could mess it up, but it literally all it has to do is be good, and it'll, without a shadow of a doubt, like home run, no questions asked, be the best Spider-Man trilogy.
Yeah, for sure. I do.
Which
100%
I hate to
agree
say
with
that because I love all the Spider-Mans, but they've just really done Miles Morales good.
The art and like the art direction and the cinematography,
Voice
is great,
acting.
but the character stories and just the like narrative, it's phenomenal.
Oh,
It is
100%.
great. It's so
100%.
good.
And then
I think
Miles,
it's just
like,
a positive, right?
like being so, I don't know. We can get into
Well,
it
yeah,
later. but
save it for the next episode.
Save for the
No,
pod.
but, so you got The Dark Knight, The Batman, you want
Across the Spider-Verse.
Across the Spider-Verse,
And I would honestly have to say one of my favorite movies I watched in theater was Black Panther. Wait, no, let's scratch Black Panther. No, we'll leave Black Panther. I really like Creed 3 just came out, right?
Ooh.
Creed 2 might be my favorite Creed movie.
I've seen the second one. I've never seen the third one.
Creed 2
Where
might
he's
be
fighting Drago's son.
Yeah, I've seen that one. I haven't
That-
seen the third
yeah,
one.
that's the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the third one's all right, but it's definitely like It's just a bunch of cliche.
Yeah, like they're doing the
It's
same thing over
Well,
again.
to be fair, that's
So
all
is
of them.
Rocky.
That's all of them.
That's Rocky movies in general.
But I feel like 2 just really did it the best because it brought back Drago. So all the older fans are happy. The newer fans get to see Adonis, get a win.
I would say
Spoiler
that's a
alert.
pretty successful reboot.
Yeah.
And well, I guess it's not. It's really
Creed
just
1 is probably the best one in my opinion.
Yeah.
But because just everything.
Yeah.
I really like the bar scene whenever he goes in and talks to Rocky for the first time.
Oh.
He starts spewing off facts, and Rocky's like, "Who are you, man?" It's cool.
Yeah, that's a touching scene though, because they get kind of.
And then at the end, he's like, "Who won the third fight behind closed doors?"
Mhm.
He's like, "Your dad did."
Just to clarify, we got the Batman, the Dark Knight,
Across the Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse,
Creed,
Creed,
and Black Panther.
Black Panther.
Now, I will say, I was considering putting Infinity War in there, not Endgame.
Oh yeah, no, that we are going to discuss that. We have
Episode 2.
We have that planned.
Michael Wooten.
Totally agree with you. We're going to go in on that one.
That's
dude.
going to be probably the whole pod.
Yeah. No, yeah, for sure, because that's something I'm very passionate about, and just in general. Infinity War is
I think it's way better.
If you cut the MCU off after Infinity War, it is the best movie saga series ever.
I will agree with you on that.
We'll get into it though. Nick, what you got?
I don't know if I don't know. We'll save. We'll save it
for the pod. Save it for the next
like
pod.
A saga. Like
But
the only
I don't know if I'd
saga
ended
there
that
is
Infinity
Star
War.
Wars, and MCU definitely beats out Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah. What you got, Nick? What's your 5?
It's probably going to be a little similar, but I might jump around a little bit. I'm definitely going to... I hate to waste 2 picks on this, but I feel like if I have Infinity War, I want to have Endgame. Just because that's, 5 hours?
I can't
of
agree.
Movie? No, that's almost 6 hours a movie.
It's 6, yeah, it's like 5.
It's 2:30 and then 3:30, right?
It's like 5. It's a little bit less than
it's-
6. It's like 5:45, something like that.
Endgame is like 3 hours. and
Endgame's
5 minutes.
3 hours. Yeah, I was say 3 hours and like
So it's
4
about
minutes or something like that.
5 hours and change.
Yeah.
So you're going both of those, and what?
I mean, I really like Endgame, so that's why I would pick it. Even though there are definitely plot holes.
Yeah,
I just
a
enjoy
lot.
it.
A lot of plot holes.
I think I'm gonna go with the new Batman,
Ooh.
which I think the Dark Knight's better. But if I can only have these 10, and I'm picking 5 right now, the new Batman's longer. It's definitely probably better story. I feel like. It depends,
Maybe.
but God, here's what I'll say: the acting in the Batman, the newest one, is across the board amazing. I feel like the Dark Knight gets so extremely carried by Christian Bale and Heath Ledger. I feel like which everybody else did good, 100%, but you take out Heath Ledger as Joker, that movie becomes so average.
I wouldn't really say average.
I think it becomes average. Heath Ledger, people argue that Heath Ledger is the main character in that movie.
Clarify one more time. You got the Batman,
And then Infinity War and Endgame.
Infinity War, and Endgame, and then what else?
Here's where it gets fuzzy because I don't know.
I mean, you don't want to go Across the Spider-Verse?
No, because I think that's probably the best Spider-Man movie, but it's not my favorite because
Were you going to say Far From Home?
no
No
I'm
Way
about to
Home?
make the most outrageous pick for my
Go ahead.
Spider-Man movie.
Go ahead.
Okay.
The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
I can see it.
I can see that. I honestly can see that.
Andrew
Yeah.
Garfield's always been my favorite Spider-Man.
He's my favorite too.
And everyone, just poops on the Amazing Spider-Man as a whole, especially 2. They hate 2.
Yeah.
What I will say though is that if you're saying you take out Heath Ledger's Joker from The Dark Knight and it makes the movie worse, if you take out the villains from Amazing Spider-Man 2, it makes the movie better.
It makes it so much
Makes
better.
it so much better.
Not all the villains.
No, you got the Lizard, or that's the first one.
The Lizard's the first one, but
Then
in the
you got
second one, the only
Electro and the Green Goblin, but
I
he's
liked Electro.
he's pretty cool. I mean,
Goblin was a little.
I was going to say Green Goblin was forced.
It was
bad.
forced. I can agree with that, but I don't know. I
they
just
should
feel like
just focus
Andrew.
only on Electro.
Huh?
They should just focus only on
100%.
Electro.
And his theme music
Yeah.
when he's in Times Square,
Treetop,
dude, that
solid.
score is.
I mean, that's one of the best Spider-Man scenes though, is when he's saving the people in Times Square.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he
On the
like
electricity.
when time slows down
Yeah.
and he like has to split his web.
Yeah, it's
so
pretty good.
oh, dude, it's crazy. So, and I just like Andrew Garfield as a whole.
Uh-huh.
I like his movies.
Mhm.
Like Tick Tick Boom, that's a good one.
I didn't like that one, but anyway, that's besides the
Save
point.
for the pod.
What's your last one?
Here's the coin toss. I really don't know on my fifth one. Let's just say Deathly Hallows Part 2.
Okay,
I don't think I've ever seen that movie.
Harry Potter.
that's pretty good.
No, I don't
Yeah.
watch Harry Potter movies.
That movie is, I think about it often mainly because of the twist that like takes the entire series to build it. Don't say what it is.
Yeah, talking about
It's, oh boy,
Mr. Potter.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the guy that says that. Potter.
Huh?
Like I'm talking about the guy that says. I'm not talking about Harry Potter.
Oh, you're talking about the old boy.
Oh boy.
Rest in peace to the actor.
R.I.P. Exactly.
Okay.
That, like, it's so good, but like,
Such a great twist.
it's one of those things. That was the first. Actually, that's funny that you say that because that's the first movie I ever cried at. And I remember
First
watching
movie I
it.
ever cried at was Infinity War.
And I really,
Dude. Well, Spider-Man's obviously my favorite superhero. Something about Tom Holland grabbing Iron Man.
yeah. Well, also like our Star Wars is the MCU, in my opinion, but
That's
also,
fair.
to a certain extent, also Harry Potter.
100%.
And it was like the culmination of all those movies together. And at the very end, when like I know there's only like 20 minutes left of the movie, and I'm like, oh my god, like it's coming to an end.
Honestly, I feel like Harry Potter is more like our Star Wars than the MCU.
I would say, I don't know, dude.
Our
I'm
MCU,
putting my flag on the MCU.
This might be a hot take. Our MCU has probably surpassed both of those, Star Wars and Harry Potter, as far as popularity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, I feel like that's on the not that I enjoy one of the.
There's a lot that can.
They're on the next level.
There's a lot of reasons for that, but that's a lot to talk about. You know what I mean? I think I just
save it for the pod.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a whole lot of more reasons that Marvel is more popular than Star
Yeah.
Wars and Harry Potter. I wouldn't just say it's
Mainly
just
probably
right now.
comic
when you have 20, what is it like? It's like 30 movies now, right?
Yeah.
When you have 30 movies versus,
I think it might be more than that.
well, it's like
Not
definitely
including TV shows.
definitely 20 plus movies versus like 9 and 9, right? 99. Harry Potter got 9. Yeah, 8. No, there's 8 books, but the last book was 2 movies, right?
Is there 8 books? I thought
Yeah,
it
I'm
was
pretty
7
sure.
books.
But it's like 7, 8, 9.
Stone.
movies. It's all right.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I don't feel like that.
That's a lot. We gotta remember. But anyway, so here, okay. So what I did notice when you guys were answering is that like you did have some trouble naming the movies.
Yeah.
This is why I would pick music because I can give you my top 5 songs, no problem. And that would be "Simple Man," Leonard Skinner, love that song. "Weekend in New England," Barry Manilow. I have been.
Is that song you used to sing in the car?
That's when I was just singing before we started this podcast.
Weekend in the song. Weekend in England.
Weekend in New England. Oh yeah. I was thinking about a different song. I was about to say "Hey Driver," which I've been really vibing with, and I sang that before we started this. But yes, I used to sing the "Weekend in New England" in the car. But so Leonard Skinner, Simple Man, "Weekend in New England," Barry Manilow, "Hey Driver," Zach Bryan, is that his name?
I've
that's
never
his-
heard of it, but
I think this is.
I know Zach Bryan.
And then for sure, without a shadow of a doubt, I love "Feathered Indians"
By
Tyler Childers.
yeah,
And then
he's naming country Justin.
Yeah, I know. I know what's going on here.
And then, oh God, I said I can easily name them, but now the song is like out of my brain.
Are you having trouble naming your songs?
No,
Brandon?
Cowpoke.
Oh, by
Culture Wall.
Culture Wall. Culture Wall is
Love that
so
song.
good.
Anyway, but like
I like Caroline.
because I can name those so fast, that's why I definitely have to go movies because I could not definitively name a movie.
That's valid. I mean, I feel like that's the reason.
I just like music so much. I'd be scared I'd get burnt out on those songs.
But this one, Leonard Skinner's "Simple Man," bro. Like, not only are the lyrics like they hit me in here, but like I've listened to it over and over and over. It never gets old. All those songs never get old. When they come on in the car, I freaking scream at the top of my lungs, belch them out. It's awesome. They're just so good. Never get tired.
I'm not as much as a movie guy as I. When like And that's mostly due to Marvel just falling off, but that's episode
True.
2.
That's next podcast for sure. Yeah. So, okay, Icebreaker's done. I feel like they got a good idea of who we
We've
are.
already hit the, 45
What
minute
are we
mark?
at? We're at, we're at 45 minutes. We're doing good.
Yeah.
But I mean, you got to remember there's going to be some we got to edit out. Anyway. So, next, let's get into like kind of the discussion. And I've titled this, as I thought it was an elaborate name, In Defense of Video Games.
In defense?
That's kind of fire.
In defense of video games. Mainly because...
What are we defending?
Well, not really like anything. I don't think there's anybody out to get them. I think the like, I don't know if you call it mania or like concern, but like when I was growing up, the stigma that like, specifically around like GTA, like
Call of Duty.
I think
I know what
like,
you're about to say.
Everybody, it was poisoning the youth.
Yeah.
All that stuff. I don't really think that's like as popular nowadays. I haven't really felt that.
Well, I feel like video games are more popular now.
They're more inclusive now.
But
I feel like
I also feel like
Definitely make more money.
if what we're talking about is like it's poisoning kids, like making them more violent, and like how do I put
I
this?
understand that argument.
well, here
I think it's true, but to a certain extent.
I think it depends on like your childhood.
Yeah, I think it's depend on
mainly
how you
parenting,
raise.
which
you're
all three
raised.
of us have
Yeah.
lucky to have amazing parents, to raise us through that time.
that's kind of why. So I'm reading this book right now, and it made me think of this because of exactly what we've all just said. But basically, this book is describing how consuming certain types of media can affect developmental, affect the development of adolescence, right? And basically what the guy says, and this guy's a doctor, but also there's a bunch of other studies that he quotes, of course, and so there's kind of like it's a weird little, theory, I guess, or whatever. But essentially, when you absorb media that makes you elicit an emotional response, you're activating your amygdala, which is what is stimulated when in an emotional response. So no matter if it's a scary, happy, graphic or innocent thing, you're still anything that elicits an emotional response is taking away from the development of the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex.
So behind, kind of the side.
Don't worry about it.
Pre to the side.
It's kind of like, I don't even know how to really explain it, but just think of your prefrontal cortex. But essentially, your prefrontal cortex, dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, is where your critical thinking. When you think critically, you're activating that part of your brain because it's pretty much right here. All right, and when you are emotional, or when something has elicited an emotional response, you activate your amygdala. And when you're born, from about when you're developing about 0, newborn to 8 years old, your brain has all these neurons, way more than you have as an adult. And slowly but surely, the brain kind of prunes, get rid of the ones that you don't use. And then you eventually get your brain. And this guy's argument is that ingesting emotional content stimulates and therefore preserves more of your amygdala and takes away from the development of your prefrontal cortex. Okay, and what that does is it makes you
become more emotion based and not critical thinking based.
Yes. Now the asterisk, you can fix it because of a thing called neuroplasticity. But basically, thinking about that argument of, do you think video games like do that? And my first thought was like, look at all three of us. And what I mean by that is like, our relationship is pretty, the like common denominator. I think a lot of reasons for our relationships the way they are is video games. Yeah. As in, what we talked about earlier. Me and you are brothers. I'm adopted. You know, it's kind of a long story, but
Shout out mom and dad.
shout out mom and dad.
Taking them in.
They're probably gonna watch this, so yeah. So you know, I think you guys also, you know, went outside, played basketball, like played sports. I didn't really play a lot of sports growing up, but I went outside and played. You guys, I wasn't a very athletic kid until I had a little bit more confidence in me. I think our relationship was bolstered really by video games because, like, I remember giving you.
I'll say it's the foundation for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, like, because our brother Nathan is like, we were friends first.
My biological.
His biological older brother, but we're about the same age. We were friends first, played football together. We're classmates, all that good stuff. You know, I'd come over and hang out with you, and then we connected.
Well, no, you come home with Nathan.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but like,
and that's how, like, I was Nathan's little brother, obviously. So
I would go in.
how old was
you were
I
9 when I first met you.
I was 9.
Yeah. And I remember going in and talking to you about video games because I was like big gamer. Like when I went home, you know, after I get homework done or whatever, I would dive in.
Same.
I mean, like, unhealthy.
Nathan would as well. Yeah.
I remember I walked in and we were talking, and you're playing. I can't remember what video game you were playing, but I remember specifically I knew what the video game was. I started talking to you about it, and it was like a switch went off in your brain. We're like, oh my god, I can talk to this guy, and like he's interested in what I have to say about this video game.
Yeah, that's like the main reason I wanted you to keep coming back for a long time until I realized, oh dang, this dude might stay for a while.
Nuzzle Mo in.
I've infiltrated their time to raid their food pantry. But yeah, like Nathan being the kind-hearted that he was, you know, grew pretty close to you. Kind of like, did you tell him like all your stuff going on at first or no?
No, I don't think I trauma dumped on him necessarily. I think it just kind of
happened.
But also, you know, our mom, she finds out.
Freaking like, FBI agent.
Yeah, I mean, so it didn't take her very long to realize what was going on. And also, like, you know, our grandmother, Gaga, shout out, she taught
your mom,
my biological mother.
Did you know that, Justin?
Yeah,
I did not know
Gaga
that.
taught his biological mom.
So I
mean,
I would
did
say,
tell me Gaga was a teacher.
Yeah, she taught at Banks, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. But not only was our relationship bolstered by that, and it's something that still connects us to this day, even though I'm not really like, I don't, you know, still got the PS4, you know what I mean? Your guys' relationship is also something that is, you guys are friends. We moved, Nick and I and our brother with our mom, who's also a teacher, moved schools, and that kind of created, you know, not like really a distance because of video games, and you guys still played, you know, together like a lot. And then to the point where you guys are now roommates in college because that friendship was still kindled.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Like we met in like what?
Fourth. I guess it was fourth grade, but I guess he didn't really talk to us until like fifth grade. He's kind of just there. But I mean,
that really was true. I was very introverted. The only people I ever hung out with was like Matthew Ham and Claire.
Which that's probably how we started talking. I guess he started hanging around Matthew. Matthew is I would say he's still one of my good friends. If he needed something, I would be there for him, obviously. But we're not as close as we were back in, obviously, elementary school. Because, you know, people grow apart. They make their own friend groups, make new friend groups when you get older and stuff like that. But I guess that's Matthew Ham is really
the first conversation we had.
I don't think I do.
I wrote on a napkin your gamer tag.
That might have been true. I think I do remember writing my name on a gamer tag.
Writing your name on a gamer tag?
Or writing my gamer tag on a napkin.
Yeah.
And giving it to him so that we could play on the PlayStation 3.
Had to call him on the house phone.
I was going to get into that. We had to call each other on the house phone to play Minecraft, Call of Duty, Black Ops 2.
And then I'd get mad at you because you stole my diamonds.
And I would block him for about 2 weeks.
Block me and
I blocked him a lot.
Oh my God, kicked me out of the parties.
I kicked him out of the parties.
Because he was always the freaking host. He was the host of everything.
Well, I mean, they kind of wanted me to host, so I would just host. And
I don't know. I hated it.
Yeah, I would kick him.
It'd be like 2 weeks later, and I was like, you want to play? Yeah.
He would get kicked like once a week. Probably towards the end of
it still haunts me. Hey, what do you do to a soccer ball? You kick it, you get kicked out of the party.
Which would be tough. I do remember that.
Don't hype that up.
Yeah.
I do remember like going over like to the house and you just being like, yeah, they kicked me out of the party. So they let me back.
Yep, all the time, bro, all the time. Now it's shifted to Michael. Michael's like not as much anymore, but like he's definitely like the punching bag for jokes a lot of the time.
Yeah, that's probably true. He kind of sets himself up like that. But I mean, I'm not hating on Michael. I love Michael.
To be fair, we like punch everybody every now and then. So,
yeah.
like Mayan gets it pretty bad. I don't know. You get it kind of bad sometimes.
I wouldn't really say like
It's
nobody
like
says
situational for
me.
you.
Nobody really like makes me the punching bag. I kind of don't even talk in the group. I don't even remember the last time I texted in the group chat. I'm kind of just
Yeah, we haven't
in
really
there.
done anything in a while.
But I will say, like, that is something that I've always thought was awesome, like that camaraderie and that friendship. But I remember the first time I logged on, like one of the first like multiplayer games I played was like the original Black Ops.
Black Ops
1?
1. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people say it's the best one in the series.
I think it's great. Well, I remember because my friends played it, and then I was able to log on with my friends and play. And I had to get a little mic and everything, so I could talk with them. And like, I guess it really wasn't like a feeling of like being left out, but they had already been playing forever. I was like a level 1, and they were like 5th prestige or whatever. And I was like, oh wow, I've been like you're not really missing out because I get to hang out with them in class and stuff, and we played. A lot of my friends played
I know
football.
the feeling though.
But you're like, oh my god, like I could have been hanging out with them the whole time.
Yeah.
And I think that's like a good social connection that really helps you develop.
Yeah, that's definitely the main reason that we're still probably even sitting in this apartment, if I'm being totally real. Because I don't think, we would have like maybe hung out, but like I feel
Not
like
as
video
often.
games is
Yeah.
a main reason we're friends, especially like with Michael as well.
Well, I mean, I went to school with Michael, so I mean, it's
so
not
you
like
and
I
Michael would have
wouldn't.
still been friends, but that was really the only way I kept in touch with y'all.
Yeah.
Was through video games, and then the pool during the summers because we live close by. But yeah, it's really it's my hobby, playing video games.
I mean, but also in terms of
We'll
like,
call it a hobby, not an addiction.
we'll call it a hobby.
We'll call it a hobby.
But also, Justin, you may not know this, but I'm the one that gave Nick the Last of Us video game.
Man, you sparked something horrible, man. Let me not even get into my hate for the Last of Us series.
You don't like it?
Man, the first one, I have no problems with the first game.
He's just a hater.
No. I'm not a hater of the game. I'm a hater of the fans.
I feel you.
The fans
kinda
of the
like-
Last of Us series are horrible. And that like their game is like up here on a pedestal.
It is.
It's the best game ever made. It's probably like a top 2-3 story game of all time.
That is. I feel like that's very like common though in terms of like when you get a fan base is just like this is the greatest thing ever, and you're like, it kind of like makes you want to hate it, right? I mean, like for me, I think Yellowstone. I don't hate Yellowstone. I'm pretty sure it's a great show, but like everybody is always. I think the hype's kind of died down a little bit,
Well,
but
you wanna
everybody's
talk about
always
that.
like, oh, Yellowstone.
That's like me towards Game of Thrones.
Well, I mean,
I know it's good, but like, Jesus,
it is good.
it's like the whole world at one point.
Yeah.
Was watching it.
I think that honestly, like when I think of like one of the biggest TV shows that changed the game, Game of Thrones definitely pops up.
Oh yeah.
In my opinion,
I mean
Breaking Bad.
That's another. That's
I don't
another
really say it
TV
changed.
show.
Like it's good. Like it changed. What do you mean by change the game?
I don't know. I wouldn't say change the game. I think it's just in like it's like in like Hall of Fame.
I was gonna say I
sports
think
people.
it played the game, but did it probably the best out of anybody who played.
It's like comparing
that game.
Jordan, LeBron,
Yeah,
Shaq, and Kareem.
yeah.
Like
Jordan, LeBron is definitely better.
save it for the
Man,
pod.
come on, let's save it for that
Save it
later
for the
podcast.
But as a player, maybe. Anyway, I can't get caught on that fishing hook.
So that is a good like segue into one of the things I wanted to discuss because like I'm thinking about in the defense of video games and everything like that, and like all of these like great memories came back of all these like just like goated video games I played as a kid that you guys will never probably have the experience to play. You probably can with the way PlayStation does the old
the
games.
old games. On
It
the
just depends
PlayStation,
on
yeah.
if they're up there.
But in terms of Nick loves Last of Us, you don't like Last of Us. We finish strong. Give us your like top 3, top 5, whatever you want, video games. Like what if you were going to be defined by the video games you put on this list, what would they be?
Man, okay. This is kind of difficult, but I know one that would 100% be in there, and it's Ghost of Tsushima. I think that game.
See, that's my. Oh my god.
I think that's one of the best design game
agree.
worlds that I've ever seen in any type of media, like game, like that thing. It's like beautiful. And when they came out with the PlayStation 5 version, it was so much. That's like the only game that has like fast travel that I will sit there and won't use fast travel and just like I will just walk around. I'll ride my horse around. I've replayed that game like 3 times. That game's so good. And I will probably.
I'm gonna have to like veto that when I come around, just because it was The Last of Us Part 2 was against it in the Game Awards.
Which I think the Ghost of Tsushima should won.
Guess which one won?
But I'd probably respectfully, for me personally, I have to put Elden Ring in there. Elden Ring's an insane game. Even though I was mad, I kept dying.
Order?
No, this isn't in order. Even though I kept dying over and over again, I was saying crazy stuff about this, like the game, how bad it was. The game wasn't well made. But then like I got to the end of the game, and I was like, dang, it's one of the best games I've ever played. So I would have to say Elden Ring. What's another good game? I'm trying to think like a single player game that's good. I've never played God of War, so I really can't say. Oh, yes, I have. I played God of War 3. That's probably one of my favorite games I've ever played. That's back when Kratos was like the actual God of War. Zeus. Yeah, he was fighting everybody. That was one of my favorite games. That was a good impression.
But the old school God of War games, I mean, the new ones impressed me like immensely.
Do you know the old writer for the original 3 God of Wars doesn't like the new God of Wars?
I mean, I can see that.
He doesn't make those?
No. He doesn't like the way, because it like switched from one company to now it's who is it? Who made? I can't remember who makes the new God of Wars now. Anyway,
is that Santa Monica?
I don't think so. No.
Whatever they're called. Anyway, so we got Justin. You got
Ghost of
Tsushima,
God of War 3, and Elden Ring. Okay. And I'm trying to think. I'll just do 3 because
I think 3 is pretty solid. 3 is pretty solid.
I'm gonna have to do 5 because like I'm probably gonna name.
Ooh, Red Dead. Red Dead would probably be in there too.
1,
2.
First one's good too.
The story was good. I've never completed the story. I'm not gonna lie, but from as far as I've gotten in the game, it's pretty good. It's really good.
One thing that I did not appreciate at first, but now I do, is Red Dead is a very long game. I did not like that at first. However, with now the fact that a lot of video games are $70.
Oh, that is a lot of money. Yeah.
If I'm going to spend almost $100 to have an experience, $100 to me is like, if I'm buying a game at $70, it should be
I'm going to have a great pick for that.
It should be Red Dead 2.
For that reasoning, I'm going to have a phenomenal pick.
What you got? Oh, sorry.
I'm going to do 5 as well because I forgot this game. This is probably my favorite game of all time. It is Skyrim. That game is insane.
Solid.
It's valid.
That game is probably the best.
I'm a Fallout guy.
It blew my mind when you could become a werewolf.
Yeah, werewolves and vampires. Yeah. When they added that was insane.
I'm a Fallout guy myself, but Skyrim is a valid pick.
I mean, it's the same studio.
Yeah, same Bethesda. Yeah.
So
it really just depends on what you want.
You're going Fallout?
No. Well, I might.
What you got?
Might do 6. I don't know.
I did 5.
I can get down this rabbit hole better than movies.
Let's do 5.
Oh, dang. Fallout 4 is probably going to be my honorable mention then, because it probably won't bust my top 5.
Did you ever play New Vegas?
I did on the.
That game's great.
It's all right. I'm a Fallout 4 guy myself.
I think 3 is better, me personally.
That's fair.
Story wise, I think 3 is better.
Anyway, I'm gonna go in order.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go number 1. Without I gotta put The Last of Us Part 1 in my number 1.
Now that's valid. I will say Last of Us 1's a good
game. Because
I just don't like the fans.
Dude, I remember you giving me that game. I was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is this? 20 minutes into the game, my heart is just absolutely ripped out of my chest for a guy I have no idea who he is. Instantly feel bad for him. Instantly connect with him. That's Joel Miller, my boy. And then he just becomes an absolute freaking unit of a man in the apocalypse. Like 50 years old, smoking people. And then, like, you know, I could talk about that game all day. Which goes into my next pick, The Last of Us Part 2. A lot of people hate that game.
That game's bad.
A lot of you haven't even played it.
Man, that's a bad game.
Man. My co-host is making me mad right now. Anyway, but yeah, so I really like that game because it did the most ballsy move on the planet. No, come on. Yeah. And ripped the hearts out of every fan that played the first game. Which, what really sucks for The Last of Us Part 2 is a lot of stuff got leaked, especially Joel. That got leaked. And a bunch of like cyber attacks on Naughty Dog and like leakers and stuff. So a lot of people knew about him going into the second game, which kind of killed it for a lot of people. But everyone says it got handled bad. Nah, I like it. I like the way, because it's realistic, you know? And a lot of people just don't like to hear that just because they got a connection with Joel. I had a connection with Joel, and I was heartbroken. But it made sense.
It's like, I do feel like some of it's kind of like,
Yeah.
I feel like a better story could have been told. But then again, like,
Yeah, but I don't think it was the story that was like.
I don't think it's a bad story.
I don't think a good ending would have made sense for The Last of Us. I don't think it would have
kind of
made
is
sense.
a good ending though, because
I was gonna say, didn't like.
You said it is a good ending?
yeah,
What?
don't you get together with that girl?
I was gonna say, didn't,
Ellie's by herself alone at
Yeah.
the end of the last
Isn't
game.
she like the end of like she's like in a? Is that might be the
she
first?
she
one. She's in a
goes to
snow
kill
cabin,
she goes
right?
to kill Abby, decides not to do it because finally after the whole game she realized that's not what Joel would have wanted for her. Now on the flip side, Joel would have definitely killed Abby, but anyway, Ellie lets him go because she wanted to stop the cycle of killing because that Lev would have just come after her, you know. And then she goes back home, and then Dina had left her with their baby. So Ellie ended up alone by herself. We have no idea where she's going. 2 fingers missing.
The one thing I will say that I mean, like I think you got a good point. I think it is a good game. I can't really Jones it too much because I didn't play it all the way through. So take that with a grain of salt. But one of the funniest thing to me about that game is that is the literal zombie apocalypse, end of days, and there is still this one dude that is like homophobic. Like people are dying.
Are you talking about
turning into zombies?
Talking about the guy in the bar?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he's like, I mean, I can't remember what he says exactly, but he's like clear homophobia, and you're like, dude,
Towards Ellie and Dina.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're like, dude, like, is this what we're worried about right now?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. You should be worried about
Well, I
making
mean,
a home today.
he was spoiled because he was inside the walls for like probably a number of years now of Jackson, and because Jackson's like one of the most secure places in the game, you know, so probably went back to his old man roots. I don't know. Yeah, that is funny though when that scene happened, but sorry, got lost
No,
on
I
that.
think you're good. Yeah, but so Last of Us 1, Last
1
of
and
Us
2. Not it could be interchangeable depending on the day for me.
Whoa.
Because I like.
No, I think that's a crazy take.
Okay. Ghost of Tsushima's not even in my top 20s.
Well, I mean, I don't care about that, but
Oh.
like, you know,
I
I'm
didn't
done
hate on
talking.
your list.
No, just
I
go
didn't
ahead.
hate on your
Yes,
list.
you did. You said you were gonna veto my thing, but go ahead and
No,
finish your
I
list.
said I'd argue it later. I let you finish.
Go
though.
ahead. Go ahead.
Number 3, probably. I did say that God of War Ragnarok beat out this game when I first played it, but that was probably recency bias. I will say Red Dead 2 is my number 3. I don't play the multiplayer. I've only played it on single player, and I have like 500 hours on it. I replay that game all the time.
It takes 500 hours just to move from one side of the map to the other.
Oh my god! Don't do this.
That
Don't
map
do
is
this.
huge.
Don't do this, bro. You need to find the white Arabian in the snow. You're clocking at least 30 miles an hour.
I will say though, the house building like
Yeah.
jingle or whatever, that's the best thing in the whole game. Easily.
Oh, well, I put in.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Don't want to get.
So what's your 4 and 5?
4 probably God of War Ragnarok, just because I really liked that game. Whenever I played it, I thought the story built upon the first God of War 2018 amazingly. Like Kratos probably has some of the best character development and a lot of video game characters in general, not just in his franchise. But crazy game. The gameplay was fun, all that. And then number 5 is where it gets hard. But this might be recency bias.
Bro, don't do this, bro.
This might be recency bias.
Dude, come on.
But Baldur's Gate 3
Come on,
is
bro.
so fun.
Dude, I can't. I'm not gonna be mad at that. I want to play it so bad.
No DLCs, no nothing, just straight $60 to $70 game, depending on what platform you buy it on.
Is it doing an ad read?
That's what I'm
Just
saying.
playing on.
You working for the company?
So we got.
No free shout outs,
But
bro.
no, like I just completed the game. I think 2 nights ago, and in one playthrough took me 180 hours.
I'm not mad at that pick though,
And
because I want to play that game so bad.
There's no DLCs. There's no multi. Well, there is multiplayer, so you can play with your friends. But like, there's no like competitiveness to it. It's just you make your own fun, and the replayability. That game probably has some of the best replayability factor of any
you
video
changed
game.
You told me you changed your character class
You can
3
change.
times.
I changed my character, and you can change your companions' classes. You can.
I'm saying you started out as a fighter.
I started out as a fighter. I went to a paladin. I went to a paladin warlock. I went to a pure warlock. I went to a rogue, and then I went to a fighter paladin monk.
You started the
Triple
game
classed.
as like straight up brawling, and then you finished on stealth and beat 'em up like magic.
Yeah, it was insane. And you can do that for your companions. You can have, I think, 20 plus companions. You can. There's I don't know how many endings, and certain things that can play out. The map is huge. The story is good. There's I don't know how much dialogue. One thing I will say is like almost every NPC you find has dialogue, and I've never seen that before.
Yeah, no, I remember them saying that like they're specifically going to like in the
once you get to Baldur's Gate in the third act, there's a lot of refugees that are just standalone. But like I would go on a limb and say 85 to 90% of every non-playable character has dialogue.
Well, that's what they said that in the development of it, they would go in and be like, you know, are we going to like, what if this happened? Like, what if the player wanted to do this? And
they just said yes to everything.
Yeah, and they said yes to everything. And it's like, that's pretty cool. But also, like, you don't just sweep the Game Awards or anything like that. Like, I can't tell
What's amazing to me is that so many people just, like, had no idea the game existed. And they were, like, so mad that, like, one game didn't win over the Baldur's Gate, blah, blah, blah. Because they didn't realize how big of a fan base it was.
I was going to say, I don't know if people didn't know, like, what Baldur's Gate was. I'm just saying there was 25 million people who, like, bought the game when it released. Like, it's not that the game was, like, not known.
I'm about to put you on blast.
The game's not.
Is 25?
What?
You said 25 million? Is that a lot or not?
Yeah, that's a decent amount.
You've called Baldur's Gate
Baldur's
3.
Gate. Yeah, I'll still stand by that. Baldur's Gate looks like Raid Shadow Legends.
Come on,
I'm not
man.
playing that, bro.
Come on.
I just don't like Dungeons. I find Dungeons and Dragons very like boring.
Yeah.
So I'm not playing a game that I don't look like isn't like. If it looks like it's not fun, I'm not gonna spend $80 to play the game.
Oh yeah, of course. But
I will say, like, sometimes the top-down view, like a tabletop view, I guess, I don't know what, I think it's tabletop view. Sometimes that's, like, kind of off-putting in certain games, but I can't really say it definitively because of my list, and you'll understand why in a minute, but that it's like they designed it to resemble D&D. Like, I mean, like Diablo, same way. Like in all of the old school like fantasy games, they're just like, we'll just make a digital D&D basically.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, like legitimately, you could say a lot of. I mean, World of Warcraft, even like that's one of the biggest MMOs ever, and it's like, yeah, no, they definitely like D&D is definitely the blueprint for a lot of games because of how they first
100%.
thought they could even build a video game like that. You know,
100%.
But you boys ready for this list?
I don't know if I am.
You guys are not gonna. You might know what I'm talking about, but prepare.
Skyrim has to be up there.
Nope.
Really?
I played Skyrim so much, but it's not my top 5. So top 5's harder it's hard for video games, but I'll go from 5 to 1. Okay, we'll see. So, number 5, Rainbow Six Siege.
Come on, man.
Siege at
Come
5
on.
is insane.
That is such a bad pick.
No,
I'm
it's
so
not.
sorry.
Wait,
Okay.
okay.
Let's think about
Coming
it.
from my
let me defend
I'll let
it.
you explain. I think I know what you're gonna say, but
Okay.
let me.
I think I've probably said it already, but when I was growing up, never ever saw any game that lasted 3 years, maybe. This game is going on 9 years
This
now.
year 9, yeah.
9 years now.
Shout out Jinxie. Completely
Yeah,
revived
Jinxie
it.
revived
Yeah,
this
for sure.
game. Yeah.
From the ground up.
I didn't find it really.
Shout out to
until-
Jinxie.
Shout out Jinxie.
Yeah, if you're watching.
I didn't find it myself until really, like, probably a year ago, maybe.
Give or take.
Maybe a little bit over, maybe a little bit less. I'm not exactly sure, but like for me, I found it at the right time because I am a big like fan of the, like, I don't know if longevity is the right word, but the like having something that lasts and is meaningful is so much better to me than something that's like a new game every year. And I think the reason I like Siege so much is because, there was a lot of games that would come out and just be like, new game every year. I mean, Assassin's Creed,
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty is the
Which
biggest
you're
one.
shifting to 2 years now, but I feel like that's a bad thing.
That's still too long.
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
It's like every year it's like an annual subscription.
Yeah.
Every year you gotta pay $70.
$70.
And I paid like $20 for Siege, and I have played it nonstop as my go-to FPS shooter.
Which I think the reason you probably like it so much is because, like, okay, the reason I like Siege so much is because it's not like, well, obviously it's not your typical, like, first-person shooter. But, like, Call of Duty to me is kind of like run around,
Yes.
shoot people. There's no consequences. I die, I come right back. Unless I'm playing, like, Search and Destroy or something
The
like
one
that.
thing that would kill me is when, and this is why I like Siege, is because most of the time if you have the jump on somebody, you'll win that gunfight.
Yeah.
And so it promotes and it values like thought instead of like, do I know how to slide cancel?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
can
It's
I
like I can
dolphin
tell
dive
you,
cancel?
I cannot tell you how many times I'm playing Call of Duty and I have the jump on somebody.
And somebody just turns on you.
I get like 5 shots in, and they turn on me and absolutely evaporate my character.
because they're just better at movement than you.
Yeah.
Because they just move crazy.
And I'm not saying like movement's bad or whatever.
Yeah.
Because whatever. Because there's different operator speeds in Siege, but definitively, if you play smarter, you'll be better at Siege.
And there's a whole. I feel like
That's the
there's,
only reason I'm good at the game.
there's just a whole lot more thought on the game.
Yes.
There's a whole lot more like.
And I never was a Search and Destroy fan.
Yeah,
Hated
me
Search
either.
and Destroy.
I've never played, like, I played Search maybe once. I played like once every Call of Duty. I would always play Team Deathmatch. But
then-
now,
because Call of Duty is, I mean, you want to win.
It's too fast.
but
it's too,
too
the
fast,
game's
but-
too fast.
to be really honest with you, I'm never worried about winning the game.
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
worried about dropping 30
Yeah,
kills.
I'm worried about my KD every game. Make sure my
When I'm
KD's
playing
not going down.
Siege, it is so demoralizing when you have like 15 kills
Dude.
and you lose.
Dude, I went 0 for 0 and like 6 assists the other day, and I was second to the guy who went
Yeah, and
15
it
and 1.
values that in that game.
But I went 0 and 0 and 6. This guy went 15, 1 and 0, and I felt like I contributed. I didn't feel like a failure at the end of that.
Whoa. Drop his gamer tag. I'm trying to play with him. That's insane.
I tried to friend him. He didn't friend me back.
1?
15 and 0.
No,
Oh, no, you said
15,
15, 1
1
and
and
0.
0.
Okay.
Oh.
Now he was cooking some, but also I was playing 0, and I was helping him out, pinging people.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I was definitely supporting him.
Yeah.
And so, of course, I didn't get the 15 and 1, but I went 0-0, so I didn't get a negative KD.
And then Siege is like so much more of a team game too.
I was about to
Dude,
say that.
in COD, I could have like people who are like horrible,
You can carry
and
them
I could
to the
carry those
promised
guys to a
lands.
win. Like, this is a good example.
You could do it in Siege.
Black Ops 4, me and Risk are playing Black Ops 4. We check the scoreboard. The score's 97 to like 93. We're winning. We end up winning that game 100 to like 95. Me and Risk combined for like 80 something kills. We combined for like 87 kills. And the next highest dude had like 4 kills. And we won that game. And I'm like, dang, we don't even really need teammates.
Yeah.
But like in Siege, Like, dude, if somebody disconnects at the beginning of the game
We're at
and
such
you're
a
playing
disadvantage.
4 against 5, there's so many times when I've played the game, I'm like, dang, if we had that teammate, we probably would have won that round.
Yeah.
Like, just him being there
Or
is
even
like,
if he's there and you're not in, there's no communication. Like you're playing on a 4 stack and then with one random, and you can't communicate with them. Oh man.
yeah.
Whew.
So that leads me into my fourth one. Here's the problem: is there's so many video games I cannot remember. It's just like movies. However, if I was going to say number 4, it would have to be. You're probably not going to know this one, but Enslaved: Odyssey to the West.
Can't say I know what it is.
Okay, it's an adaptation of that to a video game. Andy Serkis, Gollum,
Yeah.
also played like Caesar and all that stuff. You know, he was the main character. It's a critically unheralded game. I say that one because I just remember playing that game, and like that is one of the first games that pops in my head of like just an awesome time on the Xbox 360. Good story, good characters, a little bit of romance, a little bit of comedy, great, freaking phenomenal gameplay. Like for what it is, honestly, it's definitely a beat 'em up, for sure. It's a beat 'em up / platformer.
Yeah.
But like it reminds me of like an earlier version of like the Arkham Knights or the Arkham Batman games, right?
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, I'm saying this one because I played it so many times, but it's kind of a half and half. Halo 3 and Halo Reach. Number 2, Mass Effect, the series.
I've never played Mass Effect.
Dude, what are you on right now?
I don't know if I like this list. I'm not.
No,
gonna lie.
dude. Matt, I know everybody
I
hates the
cannot
third
wait
one.
for number 1.
Well, I mean, it's I guess his top games. I mean,
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah.
Listen though, Mass Effect 3. I know people hated on it. I know they're saying like it's not good or whatever.
Andromeda.
Andromeda sucks. I played that game. It's awful. Mass Effect. I know the ending. People don't like the ending. I think the ending's fine. I don't think that ending is like a letdown. But also, I'm a big fan of let's rally the troops, like motivational speeches. Like we got to rally all these people up. We're gonna go fight this big old enemy, which in turn is the epitome of the first game on my list. Number 1, numero uno, Dragon Age Origins.
I knew you were gonna say that.
I've talked about it
Never played it.
forever and always will. My first real love when it comes to video games. Made by the same people, BioWare. Their later games are People, say Inquisition was good. I think it won Game of the Year when it came out, actually. Don't love it.
I'm super surprised you didn't say
What?
a certain game,
What do you think?
The Witcher 3.
See, that's the thing though, is like I could probably put it at 4, but 4 or 3. I do love it, but like there's something about those other games that just get me, But you guys need to play it once in your life. Baldur's Gate was able to fly because Dragon Age Origins crawled. That is how like if Dragon Age Origins is made today by Larian Studios, you guys are putting it on your list because it's great. But Baldur's Gate is made today. Technology's better. You probably won't have the most fun playing the game because of how old it is, but it is, without a shadow of a doubt, one of the all-time best video games ever. Cannot change my mind.
I mean, I was gonna try to change your mind because I ain't never heard of that game. So, I mean, if you feel this way about that
For
game,
the heart, dude.
My fault, bro. I wasn't trying to like hit you, bro. I mean,
talking about right now.
but I mean, if that's how I feel that.
I knew you weren't gonna get it.
I
though,
feel
man.
that way about the game. Some of the games I played, like some game, like let's see, bro, like Persona. I love Persona. Y'all probably don't even know what that game is.
I know what Persona
I know
is.
what Persona is.
Oh, okay. Well, I love that game. But I think that's one of the best like turn-based RPG games I've ever played.
See, Dragon Age isn't turn-based though. It is, I guess, like live action. I don't know, but like like you're having to do everything like live. And I think the turn-based is nice, but like it is a top-down game. I don't love top-down games, but I love that game because of what it is. Like I said, dude, like Baldur's Gate is basically just that game better. Of course, it's a different world and everything like that. The people love those games, and you can tell because Baldur's Gate is like killing it, dude. But that's the original Baldur's Gate to me. There's probably older ones, but Dragon Age Origins, dude, like ride or die forever. Yeah, just a little shout out to some of these great
Hold
games.
on. I want to go to your point. What were you about to say about Halo earlier?
Yeah.
I want to hear what you want to say about Halo. Because even though I'm not the biggest Halo fan, I feel like Halo was... What were you going to say? Just go ahead and say what you were going to say.
Bring it. Halo is just a trash version of Call of Duty.
If it is I don't think... I think Halo... It kind of like made its own like revolution. It's a separate game from COD. That's like it feels like COD, but it's just like it's like its own. It kind of did its own thing. It's not like a generic shooter game.
Now I'm not like a full. I mean, I know that it's good, but I just think it's. So
I was gonna
trash.
say because like Halo was compete. I won't say now. Halo Infinite sucks.
Oh my god!
But like,
which Call of Duty sucks, but it's at least the
Yeah.
king of the trash can.
yeah, but
know?
like
It's still the top of the league.
Have you ever played Halo?
I played
Yeah,
Halo 3.
I played with Bishop for a lot whenever we went
Played
to
what,
Virginia.
Halo 3?
I don't know. I'll just go down there and play with him,
I mean, what Halo did you play?
whichever one he had.
Do you remember what the number on the front of the...
Was he 3 or Reach? One of the 4.
I think 3.
Did you play as Master Chief or some random dude called Noble 6?
Noble 6.
Yeah, that's Reach.
Okay.
That's a good game, I think, but I think Halo 3...
Yeah, I think Halo 3 is probably the
That's a
best.
solid, but also that's another like the world is ending like big finale game, and I love those. All right, man. I think that's a pretty definitive first episode. Pretty happy with
Oh,
that.
we're not gonna go to my
What's your
topic, or
man?
do we not have time?
Oh, what you got? No, yeah, we have
I was
we
just
got
gonna
some
do like
time.
your top 3. If we're doing top 3 games, do top 3 video game characters.
Oh,
Just keep it simple.
rapid fire, go quick.
All right. Joel Miller, Arthur Morgan, Kratos.
Man, you had to go first. I had to think about.
I'm gonna go from my video games. Oh, that's hard though. Like goated all time best characters from a video game. Ooh,
Yeah, this is a hard
God,
topic.
that is
man.
hard. I mean, I'm trying to think of like.
I got one.
I mean,
man.
okay, Ezio Auditore.
Ooh,
From
a good
Assassin's
pick.
Creed.
Goated character.
That's
bro.
a good pick.
Ezio Auditore da Firenze. I don't know if I said that right.
The Brotherhood.
I don't know if he's number one though, but definitely Ezio. Goated character.
That's a solid pick.
That is.
Golly, man, that's hard.
I only got
Characters?
and then Jin Sakai. Maybe.
Blazing. Oh, my fault.
I mean, didn't you say Joel? Like,
Truth be told, he probably isn't. He probably shouldn't be in my 3, but
I'd probably say Jin Sakai. I don't know. This is like a topic that might take me like 15
telling you.
minutes to think about.
your
3 is a
favorite
little bit
characters are
small.
just as important as the game.
Well, you said video game characters, not specifically main characters.
They don't have to be a main character.
Man,
Yeah.
I have a lot of favorite characters.
Well, I don't even know if I'd have Joel in my top 3, even though he's like one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, I wouldn't have Jin in my top 3, but he's he's like one that I can think of.
I definitely would have Arthur Morgan. I think he's phenomenally written as a character.
That's what I'm trying to think of, like characters that are just really well written.
Yeah, like
Man.
I think I'm gonna put Kratos
I
in there
got
too.
one.
What's that?
Might be a little bit of hot take. I'm going Sephiroth from Final Fantasy.
I was thinking Sephiroth.
Sephiroth is one of the best made villains of all time in Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy 7. I would say Sephiroth and Cloud, but I'm gonna just go Sephiroth. I really like Sephiroth as a character.
I don't hate that. I think that's a good pick.
I'm gonna definitely take the original Captain Price
Oh,
from Call of Duty
Hold on now.
Modern Warfare
Yeah.
series. Definitely the original Captain Price. Just goes hard, dude. He goes hard in the paint.
And my last one, I don't know. I might say like Shulk from Xenoblade. Shulk's a really good character.
that is off the wall.
Yeah, I really do like the Xenoblade series. That's one of my favorite games. Not series. I do not like Xenoblade 2. That game's weird. Now, Xenoblade 3 is a good game, but Xenoblade 1's really good too. I really do like Shulk. Shulk's one of the best characters in those games. I think
would
Shulk's
love-
the best main character.
I would love to say Geralt of Rivia, but also like I feel like any character that is like you can decide,
Choose the ending.
you can choose what they say and stuff like that is a little kind of a like iffy pick. But I think Geralt is pretty well written, but also like not really. Like I think the story is well written all in all, but the support like Geralt's love for his supporting characters is what makes that game great. So I don't know if I would include, but Trevor Phillips is another top. I'm not choosing him, but Trevor Phillips from GTA 5 is hilarious. And I think
No, I didn't kill her, but I kidnapped his wife.
He just pops the trunk
Yeah,
open.
just pops the trunk.
oh boy, y'all gonna think I stole this one for me. You ready for this one?
Maybe Snake. Snake's pretty good.
You ready for this one?
Oh, thanks, a good pick.
Not Clementine, but
Lee Everett.
Lee. Yeah.
Ooh, that's a
Yeah.
good
From
pick.
where?
You've never played the Walking Dead Telltale series?
What?
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
I
that
don't
is
like
such a solid pick.
I don't like The
Yes,
Walking
right?
Dead.
That is, that's good.
I've totally forgot about that game. That's such a good game.
That game. Now that was probably I played that. I was playing that before you came
Yeah.
into our family. I was 9, and that's a pretty.
The Telltale series came out that long ago.
Yeah, Telltale's
think so.
dude.
I remember playing it on the iPad.
Telltale series is so
Like
good.
on Gaga's iPad.
So okay, so you got name it again. Best top 3 characters you got. What are they?
I mean, Joel might not be in there. It's kind of up in the air, but Joel, Arthur Morgan, Kratos.
Okay, and did you say
I said Jin Sakai, Sephiroth, and probably Shulk from Xenoblade.
Okay.
He's the only one I can think of.
I'm gonna go Captain Price, original Modern Warfare series.
Yeah.
Lee from Walking Dead Telltale series. And who's the first person I said? Ezio.
Oh, there you go, yeah.
Ezio Auditore.
Yeah.
Yeah, solid. I think that's great. I think
It's a good way to end off the podcast.
Dude,
I
Lee
think it's a
was a
great way to-
snipe. That was such a good pick.
we need to have a top 3 to end us off next week too. So you got to figure that out. But anyway, all right. I think that was good. Thank you so much for watching. Tune in next week. Gaga.
Shout out Sandra P.
Shout out to Gaga. We love you. Have a blessed day. We'll see you later.